officers to please not make him go back. Officers noted that the child seemed very small, very thin, his skin was discolored. So the child was then transported to local hospital where he was being treated and is being treated for malnutrition and a very low heart rate. The child was discovered to be 10 years old, and at the time he was taken to the hospital, he only weighed 36 pounds. Like I said, this is really early in this case. The investigation is active and ongoing. However, I can let you know that the parents, Tyler and Krista Shinley, have been arrested and have been charged with the following charges: attempted murder in the second, or homicide in the second degree, attempted malice murder, cruelty to children in the first degree, cruelty to children in the second degree, cruelty to children in the third degree, battery, simple battery, and false imprisonment. This is our district attorney, Marie Broder.
Thank you, Investigator Spears. Good afternoon. I understand, and this briefly addressed at the beginning, that there was some confusion as to the charges because of how they were listed on the sheriff's website. It's an interesting note that in the state of Georgia, we don't have attempted murder under that statute. You have to charge the criminal attempt to commit a felony, that felony being murder. And I believe the intention is to release the warrants to you so you can see how that is charged. The child is still alive. When he reported to the hospital, as was briefly mentioned, his heart rate was extremely low. He was extremely malnourished, and they had to stabilize him here at Spalding. He has then been transferred to another hospital where he is receiving treatment. As you all know, and being a child prosecutor for most of my career, child abuse cases are record heavy and record intensive. We have requested everything that we can. We have obviously records we need to retrieve from the hospital. We have records that we need to retrieve from defects if there are any. We have cell phones that have to be looked into. So we are actively investigating this case, and we are getting all the information that we can. So what we have right now is limited, but I can tell you that the child is stable as of now.
Is the child the intended murder victim?
Yes. The state alleges in the warrants, and it is my office's decision to move forward on the criminal attempt for malice murder for starvation. The child was being starved to death, is what we will argue.
How long do you believe the child was deprived of food?
The child has not even been interviewed yet to get a firm timeline, to just be candid, so I don't want to go into that specific. But when he is released, we will have a full forensic interview with him, and we'll be able to know more about those details.
Ms. Broder, can you say how the child managed to get away?
The child somehow escaped, and he was walking the street trying to get to Kroger to get food when some individuals that lived in the area found him, and very good people that they are, brought him in and got him some water and some crackers and reported it to police, and we're very thankful to them. What I will say is this case is disturbing. It's heartbreaking. I have tried many child abuse cases in my career, and this child was simply put being starved to death. And it is tragic. To give you some context, I have a 9-year-old, and she currently weighs 76 pounds. This 10-year-old little boy weighed 36.
Do you believe the doors were locked?
Hang on, y'all, I'm so sorry. Let me go with you first, and then Ms. Matthews, I'll go to you. And then Ms. Gunnels to you.
Do you believe the doors were locked, or how was the child being kept in the home?
We do have evidence of confinement, but I don't want to go into too many details about that. But there is evidence to support the idea that the child was confined, yes. And I believe there is a warrant for false imprisonment. That would give you a little bit more detail on that. Yes, ma'am.
I received information that the Shinleys left his child home alone while they vacationed to include trips to Disney and a cruise. Can you confirm that?
I cannot confirm that. I have not listened to their interviews yet, so that's not something that I can confirm.
Was the child left home following it alone with an older sibling after the tornado?
I can't confirm that yet. I'm sorry, Ms. Matthews, I cannot. I wasn't present for the interviews, and I haven't listened to them yet.
How many children did they have?
There are multiple children in the home. Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to ask that, if there were multiple children in the home.
I can't give any obvious detail about the children. Actually, their DFACS is working with them now, so I honestly don't know the status. But they are also in line to be interviewed.
There were 5,
5.
including the main victim.
Are these children, I know on the warrant it doesn't state, it doesn't say a son, so are these foster kids, were these their kids? I know you can't give a lot, but I mean, was this 2-year-old a child?
No, we can't comment on that at this time. It would go in, and I can't comment on that at this time.
Is there a child missing, I'm being told, a 14-year-old that hadn't been seen?
I'm not sure about that, honestly. I know that we are still looking into the family history, extensively looking into the family history, and I know that the investigators have been working on identifying potentially some other children, but I don't know enough to comment about that at this time.
Is there
Yes, sir.
any defects history there?
We are looking into that. Obviously, we would have to request those records.
What is the health of the other children that are in the home now?
I can't comment on their health.
Are the parents foster parents? Are they foster?
No, they're not. I can tell you they're not foster parents, no. What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
What is the conditions of the boy?
He's stable. He's stable, but he's still receiving medical treatment in a hospital.
And just go back to you being a mom.
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Just go back to you being a mom. I mean, how hard is this case knowing that, you know, this kid for 3 or 4 years was getting abused like this under everybody's noses? I mean, obviously you wouldn't know, but I mean, to know this kid was going through this for that long, I mean, to be that little when he was found.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, as a mother, I can't comprehend it, but as a human being, it breaks your heart. We aren't releasing any photos of this child for obvious reasons, but I will tell you the photos are absolutely horrible. And anyone with a human heart that looks at them should be shaken to their core. I certainly was.
I know observation is bad enough, but were they physically beating the child as well?
I don't have the medical records yet. That's something that we're waiting. We don't have that charged because we're waiting on medical records to determine
Do
that.
you believe food was withheld from the other children, or why this particular boy?
We have not been able to interview the other children yet, so we don't know. But as of now, no other charges are, the parents aren't facing any other charges for any withholding of food from the other children right now.
Can
Yeah,
you speak
identify
more to
how
the,
long, I'm sorry.
can you just speak more to the conditions of how this child is being kept? Was deprived of water or light or?
That would get into records that we would be having to protect at this time, so I'm not going to go into any more detail about that. I can just tell you he was confined.
What condition was the home in?
I mean, the home itself was okay. I mean, but I don't want to get into too much detail about that. But the home itself was okay, but there's a lot more to that will come out as the case unfolds.
Well, I'm wondering, is there like food rationing, locks on the cabinets, anything like that?
And I know y'all are wanting answers to these questions, but understand that not only is my role as district attorney, but because this is a case involving child abuse, there's just very little talking about the specifics that I can give you.
Have there been any calls after this happened before?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Can you answer where they were arrested, the parents?
Let me turn it over to Investigator Spears. I don't know the answer to that question.
Both parents the father voluntarily came to the police department to talk to us once we had gotten notified of this incident. He was arrested and taken into custody at the police department. And the mother was transported as well to the police department. Once we interviewed her, she was arrested and taken into custody from the police department.
And when was that? When was that?
May the 12th, on Friday.
The same day?
Yes, ma'am.
And part of your investigation, are you looking to see how this even was allowed to happen, with people not checking on this? I mean, it's hard to imagine how this continued this long and nobody involved.
I agree with you. We're looking into that, interviewing neighbors, that kind of thing, trying to find how that happened. The children were homeschooled.
What was the length of time of confinement?
We're not sure at this time.
We've heard this reporter say this was 3 or 4 years. Is that what you're going with?
I'm not sure at this time. I can't answer that.
And part of, I'll stand with her on this, part of it is because we still have to forensically interview these children to narrow down the timeline. So understand that the child has been in a hospital, so we haven't been able to forensically interview him yet. As soon as we do, we'll be able to answer more of the timeline.
Have the parents made any statements to explain what this is all about?
We have spoken to the parents. We have interviewed them, but I can't discuss what they've disclosed at this time.
But this is their 10-year-old son.
This is their child, yes, ma'am.
Is any reason why this particular child was being starved?
We're trying to figure that out. We're not sure at this time.
Did the quarantine relative to the pandemic help you parents to conceal this child?
That was a statement that was provided to us. That's a possibility, yes, ma'am.
So what's next? Like, you'll gather records from medical records, everything there, and then what's next?
We'll do forensic interviews on all children, and then once we have those, further contact with schools possibly that the children had previously attended before homeschool, neighbors, other family members, just trying to reach out and get a broad dynamic of how this family was, and when maybe a change was seen, possibly.
Can you give us a range on the children's ages, the youngest and the oldest?
No, ma'am, I can't.
But there was some younger than this 10-year-old.
Yes.
Is there potential for more victims that you guys might not know about out there with this family history without any responsibility? I mean, is there?
I feel it could be possible, but I can't say either way.
Ms. Broder, you know when they'll make a first court appearance?
They had one yesterday, I believe. And then we would expect to have a bond hearing probably in the next upcoming weeks. And to answer somebody asked a question, I'm sorry, I can't recall who it was, about what's next. A lot of paper for these investigators, a lot of work, a lot of interviews. In child abuse cases, we need pediatric records, we need school records, we need defects records, we need interviews with everybody that had any contact with this child, if there are other people that had contact with him. And they are right now doing all of that. And I appreciate them for what they have done. It is my true belief that had he not gotten out of the home, that this case would be a very different one.
The other children, are they in the custody of the state at this point?
I do not know.
Who's watching the case?
And that's a defects matter, so I don't know. I don't know.
How does this work for the kids this bad? Which, I mean, with this abuse, do you guys have some age that comes in that socializes with interviewing this child? I mean, not saying you guys can't, but I know it's probably unique for you guys.
Sure. Well, anytime there's an allegation of child abuse, it's a good question. We reach out to a facility that has trained people that interview children of trauma. That be physical trauma, emotional trauma, or sexual abuse. And those forensic interviewers are specifically trained for this very thing. And so that's who we'll use in this case as well.
Do you think this child was on a 5th grade level, or cognitively was he behind as well?
I don't know. So that'll be something hopefully we'll find in the records that we've requested. All right. Thank you all for your interest. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you were just
have.
listening in to a press conference surrounding child abuse in Griffin, and we just heard from DA, and she called DA Marie Broder. She called this case disturbing and tragic. So according to police, back on May 12th, neighbors saw a 10-year-old boy walking down the street trying to get food. They were worried about it. They picked up the phone and called police. That child now being treated for malnutrition. When they found the child, he only weighed 36 pounds, is what she said. And now he is in stable condition, being treated at the hospital. Both of the parents in this case, Tyler and Krista Shenley, were arrested May 12th, the same day they discovered that child. They are now facing multiple charges, including attempted homicide, attempted malice murder, cruelty to children, battery, and false imprisonment. The DA says that she plans to argue that the child was being starved to death in this case when they go to trial. Right now, we were told that they were in court yesterday. They are awaiting a bond hearing. We also heard that there were multiple children in this home. So we're staying on top of this for you. I believe Cody Alcorn will be bringing us more information on 11 Alive News at 5, 6, and 11 p.m. We'll see you then.